Well, for once I was wrong. Not for once, I've been wrong before, but in this case, I'm actually happy that I was wrong about them. So we'll see. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Retro Hoop Collectibles. A lot of stuff has been going on for the last couple of days. A lot of announcements from different companies, different grading companies. There's a lot to go over, so I wanted to make this quick video just to kind of, in summation, talk about all of the recent announcements that have been happening with other grading companies, with all the grading companies that we've been talking about here on the channel. Before we do that, though, I want to thank our sponsor, Card Hedge. So a quick word from them, and we'll be right back. If you're not familiar with Card Hedge, it's an online pricing analysis and collection management tool. You guys see me use it all the time on the channel. I use it to check the value and market trends of different cards that I have. You can check the value of raw cards or graded cards from all the top grading companies. They have all that information pulled there on the site. Online pricing analysis tool is constantly being updated with up-to-date pricing in real time. Card Hedge also has a massive catalog of cards that they have on the platform, and it's growing by the thousands every single day. My favorite thing of all is the comparator that they have, which allows you to compare different prices of the same exact card, but in different grading from different grading companies. So that's really handy whenever you're trying to decide where to send your cards off to get graded. They follow all the prices for all the top sports cards, as well as NFTs and Top Shots, if you're into that. And some more other things that they got currently in development. They're offering a 7-day trial to give you the opportunity to take it for a test drive. Click on the link below if you want to visit the website and get more details. All right, so a while back I'm going to say a while back, probably about a month back, when HGA closed down, I did a video talking about how, based on the history of what's been going on with HGA and some of the turmoil that they've had internally and the exit of Tyler Hitt and the takeover from this new company, which we really didn't have much information on, no background. It didn't seem like they had much of a background in terms of the hobby, but you know, I had a little bit of concern. Number one, for two reasons. Number one, we didn't really know much about the company that was taking over, but more importantly, I really didn't feel like the hobby was going to wait for them. There's HGA, I think, is very polarizing. But they originally had said that they were going to open up, I think it was like in June or sometime in June or July. And I think in the video, and I'm going off top of the head here, so you guys can go back and correct me if I'm wrong, but I had made mention that I didn't think that they were going to get done that quick, that they weren't going to make that date, just based on kind of some of the numbers that they had been putting out on how they were catching up. I didn't feel like they were going to make that date, that it was probably going to be a little bit longer. And I also felt that if they were to delay and push back the reopening of submissions, that it was really going to put a bad taste in the hobby's mouth in terms of their credibility on their communications. And so I was a little bit apprehensive, I was a little bit concerned, because as I've said in the past, I really feel like HGA, out of all the companies that have come out in the recent 2 years, grading companies, I mean, because they've sprouted up like weeds, that I really felt like HGA was probably one of the ones that could still make it past this initial run up of popularity with the hobby and all that stuff. I just really felt like they had a true unique offering that nobody was bringing to the table, with the color match labels as well as the custom labels and now the horizontal slabs. I just really felt like they really hit a niche in the market. So I've always been a big supporter of them. I really enjoy grading with them. But recently, here within the last couple of days, actually, they announced. We'll click over to their thing here. They announced that they are back. They're open for submission. Steady progress on our backlog has allowed us to open 60-day submission. So one of the things that they said is that they were going to open in tiers, right? They were going to, as they felt like operationally they can handle the workload and they can hit those promised dates of 60 days, 30 days, 10 days, 2 days, that they were going to start opening up those different levels. And so they're starting off with the 60-day submission, so you are able to go in and do a 60-day submission, but they're still holding a cap at 5,000 submissions per week, which is something that we're all familiar with, those of us who are fans of HGA, because they've done that in the past in order to kind of curb the incoming orders. So that's good to see. I'm very happy that I was wrong about this, right? I made a prediction, and based on previous, communications and just kind of the way things were. But it seems like this new company, whoever it is coming in and really optimizing and kind of streamlining the way that they're doing business. So I'm very happy to see that the 60-day is back, and that they're still working on the 30-day, the 10-day, and then ultimately the 2-day submission. There's a lot of cards that I have, especially horizontal cards, that are PC items for me, that I really love my cards, and I want to send them in and get them slabbed. Some of them even some custom labels, things like that. But HGA still has that niche. I mean, you're grading for one of two reasons: either to increase the value because you feel like you have a good condition card, and a good condition graded card is gonna bring a lot more money. There's a lot more value, or you have a PC item that you just simply want to get slabbed, and you want to protect it, and you also maybe want to display it, so you want to get a custom label and things like that. And if you're the latter, then HGA is a really, really good option. So anyway, so I'm very happy about that. HGA is kind of back in the mix. The other one that I wanted to talk about was Beckett. Now, I've kind of half jokingly I don't want to say made fun of Beckett, because I've never really made fun of him, but in this whole arena of SGC versus PSA and now CSG jumping in and really trying to make some noise, and I don't think PSA's position in all of this, as far as grading companies is concerned, has ever been questionable. Some people would argue, I would be one of them, that the fight for the number one spot is between SGC and PSA. I tend to think PSA is a little bit SGC is a little bit better, but that's my opinion. But there's always been a debate at the number one spot, which would leave the loser in the number two spot. And then the number three spot was always Beckett. However, with the come up of CSG and some of the things that they're doing there, the debate has always been is whether or not they are the number three, and Beckett is now fallen down. And the reason why that has been is simply because they just have not made too many announcements as to what they're doing, how they're coming along, what's happening, when are they going to come back, this, that, and the other. And they announced recently, within the last couple of days, as you log on to their webpage, the first thing that pops up is that Economy is officially open. So if I'm not mistaken, if I click on this, I think Economy... See, they're still doing this submission form. Or is it online grading now? Okay, I guess you can do online grading now. Submission type. I'm trying to see prices. Oh, here it goes. Servicing and pricing. Beckett Grading Services. Here we go. Pricing. Economy, $35 a card. $25 a card for no subgrades. So $25 and $35. So that's where they're at. What was HGA at? I think HGA is pricing. So their Economy is back up. So this is the 60-day. They're $25 a card. So $25 a card is where they're at. 60 days. Beckett is $35 a card for Economy sub, which they don't have an estimated turnaround time that I know of, that I can see. So I'm assuming it's still 2 or 3 months. I would imagine what the Economy would be, Economy service would be. $25 if you don't want subgrades. But let's face it, that's the reason why you're going to Beckett, because of subgrades. So you'd be at about $35 a card. So anyway, again, Economy services for them back open again. Pretty excited about that. Interesting to see that they're back in the mix. And we'll see how the market reacts to that. But and then the other one, the big one, is that PSA is open now for $50 a card on economy. Now, previously to that, you had to be a PSA in the PSA Collectors Club, and then you had to be able to draw a number, right, to be able to get the $50 a card. But they're now opening a backup Collectors Club, so that's interesting. But they're back at $50 a card. So, and from what I understand, it's about 1 month, a month and a half turnaround time. So that's, seems reasonable. But yeah, I mean, just big news from a lot of these companies. HGA is back in the mix. PSA is now open for economy submission, and Beckett's now open for economy submission. And the number one, as all this has been happening over the last 5 or 6 days, I think prior to a lot of these announcements were made prior to the Dallas Card Show. But as a lot of these announcements were coming out and things like that, the number one message that I keep getting, or the comment that I keep getting in my DMs and my emails and comments and all that stuff on the videos, SGC has to drop their prices. SGC has to drop their prices. There's no way that they're going to be able to compete, this, that, and the other. I completely disagree. I think SGC at $30 a card, $25 down to $23, depending on what group submitter you go to, is still a top tier service that you're getting for market value. Even though they're in this arena of $30, PSA is still at $50, and you're going to get questionable grading. Beckett is at $35, but there's no telling when you're going to get your card back. HGA has yet to be seen, but it's $60. I mean, 60 days for $30 or $25 for them. Was it 25? Yeah, $25. But it's still 60 days. And SGC is still offering the best price for the quickest turnaround, the most consistent, and the most accurate grading, in my opinion. And so I do not think that they need to change their prices. I do not think that that they need to change anything about anything that they're doing. Now, would it be great if they did? Sure, of course. But I think that what they've done, what Peter's done with that team and everybody there, in staying consistent with their delivery, staying consistent with the quality of service that they've been offering, they have no reason to change pricing. So that's going to do it. I'll jump over here. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. There's a lot that's been going on. Are we now finally coming out of this madness that we were in just no more than 18 months ago? And what do you guys think is on the horizon? How is this going to play out? Is PSA still going to be number one? How soon do you think it's going to be before we see $10, $9 submissions from PSA again? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you guys think, because this one's gonna it's gonna spark some conversation, and I'm all for it. So appreciate you guys watching. Thanks a lot. Love y'all. Peace.